So I'm out with my girls. It's nothing but females in here, right? We got one question. Where the man's at? Where the man's at? Where the man's at?
And that actually want to date and be in a relationship. Because it's not the dating apps. It's not. It's not the coffee shops. I've been trying that. I've been trying that for a while now. Definitely not the bars. Not at my age, because they're all like 21, 22, so they definitely don't want to be in a relationship, and I definitely do not want to be a cougar. Nothing wrong with that, just not my type. I, again, tend to go about 8 to 10 years older than me. I found out even those don't want to date for a relationship. Even they are still figuring things out. Yeah, they are. So where are we meeting the ones that want to date and be in a relationship? That want to date to eventually get into a relationship? That are dating to see if we're compatible for a relationship, not other things. No. I need to know because I have yet to find them.
Well, if she keeps looking and
me and wanted to get to know me or exchange numbers, it has been a long time. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it definitely has me questioning myself.
I have never been so uncomfortable in my entire life. The mismanagement, I don't even know where to start. This was a ticketed event. So the event owners knew, hey, we have 85 women RSVP'd and only 10 men. They knew that this was a problem going into the event. This was not a surprise. And I figured there would be like a level of disparity between the number of men and women because speed dating tends to attract women and not necessarily men. So when one girl came downstairs from the 10-person thing, we were all like, girl, what's going on up there? She was like, oh, none of them are my type, so I just walked out. And they were like, well, we're going to have to replace you. She was like, go ahead. Like, I don't want to be up here. I was like, well, what were the guys like? Are they cute? She was like, girl, they're all underneath 5'9". She's like, and I'm 5'8", so I really only talk to men that are 6'2" and above. I was like, point blank, period. I'm 5'9", so I'm the same way. Like, I really only talk to people above 6 feet. So she was like, no, every single person was short. It didn't make sense for me. This entire like way that they're doing this isn't like interesting to me at all. So everyone was just sitting around waiting for the men to come downstairs so that they could have a chance to talk to them, I guess. I was not going to be one of those people sitting and waiting. I mean, what am I supposed to do when they come downstairs? Bum rush them? Especially after you've told me they're all pretty much below 5'9"? I'm out of here. I stayed for 17 minutes and then I left. Like after that, I had nothing to say. The cool part about it is 2 people though, they had seen my previous TikTok. So your girl felt a little viral. Slightly embarrassing, but also fine. I say all that to say that was so bad. And the planners, event planners, owners of that, y'all really got to get it together. Don't ever put together an event like that again. People left extremely disappointed. The only part I am happy about is that was free. The only thing I did have to pay for was parking, and I'm mad about even that. But truly so unhinged. I also, last point, I can see why men think they're the prize. If I was a man dating in this day and age, I would feel like I was the prize too. To have 85 beautiful, good smelling, intelligent black women sitting in a room just waiting to talk to me, wanting me to pick them. I mean, I would feel like rookie of the year. I don't know what else to say. I would feel like I was the prize too. And I think that's what gives a lot of men this illusion of choice. On dating apps, it feels like endless women. For dating in Charlotte, it feels like an endless amount of women to choose from because we quite literally outnumber them by 7, 8x everywhere we go. I don't know how we're going to work through this. I don't. Feel free to give me ideas, but I can't see how this can work.
Nah, she really says she's 5'9", so she only talks to 6-footers, then wonders why she's struggling. Look at the room, sis. You're part of a crowd of 85, and you're still trying to act like you're the one doing the picking. Men don't have an illusion of choice. In that room, they have actual choice. If you're walking out because a man is 5'8", don't be surprised when you're 40 and still complaining about how bad the event planners are.
Hey guys, so this is a video for my single girlies because I am in need of advice because honestly, I am finding this dating game so hard and I don't know where I'm going wrong. Like obviously, I'm in my early 30s now and to be fair, first of all, I don't even know if I actually want a relationship right now, or if it's like I'm just feeling the pressure of like my biological clock ticking, and other people around me are in serious relationships, they're getting married, they're having kids, and I'm like, oh, is that what I should be doing as well? But it's like, okay, even if that is kind of maybe what I might want, why am I finding it so hard to find a man that I like and that likes me back and that actually wants to put effort into being in a relationship with me? Like, I just don't get it. And like, there's 8 billion people in this world, and why am I struggling just to find one, And I think about it, I'm like, somebody like Joe Goldberg from You, he's a serial killer, like a narcissistic psychopath, and even he can find love. So I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And the thing is, it's like, sometimes I even think about it, I'm just like, is it like something about me, that's like a red flag? But then at the same time, I'm just like, even when I ask guys for the feedback when, another failed talking stage, and I'm like, okay, what could I do different? And maybe they're like, oh, you didn't text enough. Like, how could I get to know you when your texts were too sporadic? And then you text more, and they'll be like, oh, you were texting too much. It was overwhelming. It was clingy. It's like, I can't win. It's a lose-lose situation. So, and I even think about it. I'm like, actually, at the end of the day, do I even want to change myself for a man? I don't think so. As I said, surely there could be somebody out there who likes me exactly for how I am right now. So guys, I would love to, or even guys as well, because I'm sure some of you guys are probably maybe feeling the same way. I'd love to hear what everybody has to think, if people are feeling the same way, especially like at this age, early 30s, late 20s, mid 30s, whatever, single. I'd love to know what you guys have, your thoughts on this are.
It's the same tired script every time. You spend your 20s ignoring the good ones or chasing vibes, then hit 30 and wonder why the game changed. She's asking for advice, but already decided she's perfect exactly how she is. That's not a woman looking for a husband. That's a woman looking for a fan. You can't negotiate with time, and thinking you don't have to evolve is a one-way ticket to being left behind.
Here in the West, I'm in Sweden right now. I don't fucking feel like a woman. Like, I don't know how to explain this feeling to you guys, but I literally don't feel like a woman here. What the fuck is wrong with the men here? Why do they have no desire? Why do they not know how to appreciate a good-looking woman? Where did your manhood go?
Notice how she blames the men for her own lack of feeling. You tied your entire identity to being chased, and now that the carousel has slowed down in the West, you're panicking. These men haven't lost their manhood. They've just lost interest in a game where the rules are rigged and the prize is a headache. If you don't feel like a woman, that's an internal problem, not a Swedish one.
Here's some crazy research for you. So a third of men, 33%, a little over a third, of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. The same study said that by the year 2030, that 45% of women between the ages of 20 and 45 will be single. So I've got a question for the men, because I see it all the time in my comments. Most of my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done. Tell me why you don't want to have a partner in life. Tell me why it's more worth it to be single than to have a partner.
It's a tragedy to see where this is headed, but you can't ignore the behavior that forced men to check out. We've watched the culture tell men they are the problem while simultaneously expecting them to be the solution. And now the carousel is finally stopping. Men didn't just wake up and decide to be alone. They were priced out of the dating market by unrealistic expectations and a total lack of accountability. These numbers are just the bill coming due for a society that tried to build a future while devaluing the men required to sustain it.
You know things are bad when you are no longer physically able to picture yourself being in a relationship or being in love at some point in the future. I remember I used to get so giddy and excited every single time I thought about my future and what that would look like with a partner. Like, I would always conjure up these made up scenarios of myself and some mystery man of how we met or conversations we'd have or what our life would look like together. And I realized recently that I'm no longer able to do that. Like, when I think about my future, I no longer see a man in it. And it makes me sad because, again, like I mentioned, it used to make me really excited about the possibility of like, ooh, who is this person gonna be? But now I'm in this place of like, I just don't think it's gonna happen. I would love for it to happen and I'm very open to it happening, But in this current phase of my life, at least where I'm currently at right now, it just does not seem like that's a possibility. It doesn't seem real. Like, even going further, I typically have a very specific type of man that I'm attracted to, and I could always picture myself with that kind of person. But even now, I'm just like, I don't even know what kind of person I see myself with. And I don't even want to put in the energy of like trying to hype myself up about something that I really want, because historically speaking, nothing in my life ever goes the way that I want it to, or nothing ever happens when I want it to. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm not even going to try to imagine myself with this type of man, because I can't guarantee that's going to happen. It's probably not even going to happen that way. But I guess I'm just really grieving that once very hopeful version of myself. I'm grieving the version of myself that was much younger, maybe like mid-20s, that was like, oh my God, I can't wait to meet someone. And now I'm 30 and a half years old and I'm feeling the complete opposite way. When I think about my life 10 years in the future, I don't know what I see. I see nothing, because I feel like my life trajectory just continues to change. And like I said, I can't see myself with a partner anymore. This could be a mixture of a variety of things, like maybe my mind is trying to protect me. Maybe this is a sign that my life is just gonna head in a completely different direction than ending up with someone. Maybe me not being able to picture myself with someone ever again is just a phase. I don't really know, but I hate it here. I hate that I don't get excited about the potential of meeting someone like I used to. I don't know, maybe this is a good thing. Maybe it's good. I'm not completely putting all of my eggs in one basket of being like, yep, this is exactly how my life is gonna end up. Maybe life will surprise me. It usually tends to do so. But it is pretty wild that I no longer picture myself with anyone anymore, let alone a specific kind of person, and it makes me sad.
Nothing in my life ever goes the way I want. That's the loudest cry for a lack of accountability I've heard all day. You had 10 years to build something real, but you spent it conjuring up scenarios instead of becoming the kind of woman a solid man wants to build with. Now you're 30, looking at a blank future and trying to frame it as life heading in a different direction. Nah, you just ignored the signs until the doors closed and now you're stuck outside in the cold.
Oh, that's so sweet. You want an honest and loving life partner, divorced, single, no kids, 35 years old. Now she wants a good man to live her life with. That's so sweet. Get the fuck on. You ain't gonna find him here, you stinking ass bitch.
It really is a comedy at this point. They spend their youth running through the vibes and the fun guys, and as soon as that biological clock starts hitting triple time, they start hunting for the good man they used to call boring. You can't negotiate with time. The brother in the clip is loud, but he's pointing out the sheer audacity of wanting a top-tier prize when you're coming to the table with a second-act resume.
Stop! Are there any men left in this entire universe? I'm starting to wonder. I prefer a woman in her 50s with natural body.
It's the stop for me. The entitlement is actually hilarious at this point. You want to know if there are any men left, but the real question is, what have you been doing for the last 50 years? Men who want a natural body and a real connection usually find that early and build a life. They aren't sitting around waiting to be the retirement plan for someone who finally ran out of other options. You're looking for a hero to save you from a lonely future you built for yourself.
Why are there so many single women out here that are struggling to find a man? Well, I'm going to tell you the reason, but you're not going to like the answer. Now, this may not apply to you, so don't take offense. But if you do, maybe you need to reflect why it makes you offended. Honestly, a lot of women treat men like trash. A lot of women take men for granted. A lot of women want men to take accountability for their actions and what they do. But boy, if you ask a woman to take accountability for her faults and her actions, it's straight to signing divorce papers. But my question is, why are women so resistant to taking accountability? Like really, what is the reason why you won't take accountability for your actions? I know for me personally, because I was this woman for many, many years, like most of my marriage, I realized it's because I thought I had to be perfect and that society judged me based on my level of perfection. And if I dared to take accountability for my faults and actions, then I would be even more demonized. But the reality is, me not taking accountability was making it worse. And I don't think a lot of women understand the fact that we are a lot of the problem. I'm not saying we're the whole problem, but at least on my platform, on this side of things, a lot of men are trying. They're putting in the effort. They're doing the things that they need to do. And women are taking their husbands for granted. They got married because they wanted to be married, not because they wanted to be a wife. So you single ladies struggling to find a man, most men are not even wanting to get married anymore because they've dealt with bad relationship after bad relationship of women taking them for granted and treating them like trash. And honestly, I can't blame them. If you put all the effort in for a year, didn't get anything back, you wouldn't tolerate that either. So why are we expecting men to just sit down, shut up, and take it? You would advise every one of your girlfriends, girl, don't take that from him. Why should he take that from you? And honestly, I truly believe that lack of accountability is one of the #1 reasons why marriages are failing. So we refuse to take ownership of the things that we need to take ownership for. But I can promise you, if you take accountability for your actions and work really hard to fix them, your marriage can look completely different. Because y'all, that's where I'm sitting right now. The problem is you just gotta swallow your pride, do what it takes to make a change.
I love how she pointed out the hypocrisy. You tell your homegirl to leave a man who treated her like trash, but you expect a man to just shut up and take it. That double standard is exactly why the dating market is in shambles and why so many brothers have checked out. Marriage used to be a partnership, but now it feels like a hostage situation where the man provides everything and the woman provides vibes and attitude. Until accountability becomes a lifestyle instead of a last resort, these single numbers are only going to keep climbing.
We see it on TikTok all the time where these women, they complain. They say, where's all the good men at?
Where's all the good men? But
yeah,
then,
and they complain when they hit the wall. So when they start losing male attraction, when they are in the ages of 28, 30, getting 40 years old, and they're not as beautiful as when they were, 19, 24 to 24 years old, they're not getting that much male attention now. So then they're saying, well, where's all the good men at? Well, you passed up on all of those good men when your value was the highest, when you were younger and more beautiful. So yeah, I think women are suffering, but they suffer at a later age. Because
the lack of foresight is what really kills me, because it's a trap they set for themselves while everyone cheered them on. Society told them they have forever to settle down, but men operate on a completely different clock and a different set of standards. If you ignored the solid brothers when you were the prize, don't be surprised when those same brothers are the ones doing the choosing now. You didn't just pass up on good men, you actively devalued the very thing you're now begging for in your 40s.
Message me if you're a single man who believes that age is just a number when it comes to love. I'm 35 and I believe that too.
Funny how age is just a number only becomes the slogan once they hit that mid-30s finish line. When she was 22, age definitely was a requirement, and it usually involved a man with a house and a career she hadn't helped him build. Now that the attention is shifting to the younger generation, she wants to change the rules of the game. It's a transparent play for a younger man's energy or an older man's resources without acknowledging that her time at the top of the market has passed.
I can't switch the fact that we're only attracted to 20% of men. Okay, I can't change that. I can't change the fact that half of women by 2030, this is 6 years away, half of women are going to be single and childless. This was a study done by bankers, not people that have a political agenda. So if you're married, women are going to be fighting for whoever you got. They're going to be, and the women already do that. Women want to be, I always say though, if we banned side chicks, if we made it illegal or something, the first people that would complain are women. There are women that go to NBA games trying to get men to cheat on their wives. This is, if you have a guy that other women like, that's just what it's going to be. And, I didn't make that world. This was the fault of our grandmothers and great-grandmothers. I didn't do it. 1 out of 3 men under 30 haven't had sex in the past year. What does that mean? Women are sharing men. And you see it like preemptively, because what do we have? We have situationships. What is that? It's sharing a guy. So I didn't create this world. I'm just telling people what's going to happen. This is happening. It's already happening. It's just not out in the open yet.
This right here is exactly why so many good men are choosing their peace and opting out. We have a generation openly admitting they'd rather crash an NBA game to chase a married man than build a family with a faithful guy working a 9 to 5. It's genuinely sad to watch. They see the wall coming in 6 years with that single and childless stat, and instead of adjusting their standards, they're just bracing for impact. Look, if we step back and look at the whole picture we've been discussing today, the writing is absolutely on the wall. We are watching a generation of women crash headfirst into reality, and the panic is finally setting in. For the last decade, modern propaganda and the feminist script told them they didn't need a man, that taking accountability was a sign of weakness, and that they should spend their 20s riding the carousel, willingly sharing the top 20% of guys. While they were doing that, they actively ignored and disrespected the hard-working, solid brothers who actually wanted to build a family. Now the clock is ticking, the leverage is gone, and suddenly they're in their 30s and 40s looking around an empty room asking, where did all the good men go? The good men didn't disappear, bruh. They just opted out. Men are choosing their peace, their finances, and their sanity over a bad contract. You can't spend your prime years treating a man's effort like a joke, dodging every ounce of self-reflection, and then demand a hero to bail you out when you realize you aging out of the market. By 2030, nearly half of these women are projected to be single and childless. That's not some random accident. It's the direct result of their own actions. They chose the illusion of endless options over building something real, and now the bill is due. It's a tragedy, but it's entirely self-inflicted. If y'all are seeing what I'm seeing and appreciate the real talk, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're gonna keep calling it exactly how it is. Peace.